Welcome back to episode number 2 of our England Let's Play here in FM21. We are still at the Euros today. We have Scotland and the Czech Republic. 2 wins here, and we can make it out the group with flying colours. A loss in the first game against our rivals in the Scots, and that last game suddenly may have quite a lot of panic involved in it. Let's hope it's plain sailing. Let's see how we get on. Jack, run the intro. I realise that when I say Jack run the intro, it's a little bit, I'm talking to editing Jack. There's me, Jack, commentator Jack, there's editing Jack, and there's live stream, there's multiple Jacks. Where am I going with this? Right, we're back everyone. We're here with England. We are, of course, in the Euros. We are in Group D, and last time out, we got a very good episode out the door. And of course, if you missed episode 1, you want to know more about this series, check out the series playlist down below. As you can see, looking at things here, we beat Croatia 4-1 last time we met them. Phil Foden, Grealish, Calvert-Lewin with the goals. Lewin, of course, getting 2 on off the bench. Hopefully, we're going to keep things going today as we take on the Scots. It's going to be a tricky one, though. It's a sunny day. It's 26 degrees. We're going to be cooking out in the sun, and we're going to be cooking up a win here. To look at our team for this game, you can see how we're going to approach this. We are sticking with the 4-2-3-1 that served us pretty well last time out, although I've had enough of one man. And I know, as a Liverpool fan, I'm going to be painted with bias with this decision. I'm dropping Harry Maguire. He's been awful. Against Croatia, he got a 6.8. Against Italy, he got a 6.5. And against Denmark, he got a 6.6. He's not been good enough, and I've decided the man to come in is the man that Gareth failed to include in the England squad. He's going to make amends here. We've got Tomori in the lineup. He's quick. He's not the best in the air, but I feel like as a covering option alongside John Stones at centre-back, they're going to have a blossoming relationship. I feel like I'm the matchmaker here. I've paired them together. Match.com, eat your heart out. These two, they're going to form a loving relationship at centre-back. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to see us win it all. Elsewhere in the team going into this game, a consideration I hadn't really thought about, but I'm thinking about more and more is, how wise is it to continue to press really urgently and hard in these group stage games? My concern being that an international tournament is very, very compact. You're rotating the team around a fair bit, and I'm worried that I'm going to end up tiring out players and burning out players. I don't feel like, in real life at least, it is a sustainable strategy to go with this kind of rock and roll pressing style in an international tournament because, frankly, players do get tired. So with that in mind, we're going to lower the pressing just a smidge. Besides that, though, I was really happy with how this system worked against Croatia. Of course, going into that game, defensively, there have been some question marks, but we looked pretty solid for the most part. I think the decision to make the wing-backs on the left and right-hand side more defensive in duty worked quite well. You know, a more traditional back four. Elsewhere, Grealish impressed me, and the other man who really impressed me was Calvert-Lewin. To the point where I'm thinking, if I was going to bring him into the team, if I was going to start him somewhere, where could I fit him in? And realistically, he can only really play at right wing or at striker. And, well, at striker, that's been where he's been getting all of his goals. But there is still part of me that wants to keep faith in Harry Kane. I think his finishing, his capability to hold up the play quite well and, you know, bring other players into the game is something invaluable that the players behind him are going to benefit from. That was a decision that had to be made. I've made the decision. Harry, you're still my number 11 of choice for now. I say number 11. Number 11 is traditionally a left winger. Number 10 is your striker. He's wearing number 9. I guess that's also a striking number, isn't it? Number 10 is more of a centre attacking mid. I don't know squad number. I just auto-number them, okay? Leave me alone. But anyway, this is the team that I've settled on. Tomori, the only real change into this game. Calvert-Lewin might feel a little hard done by after that brace to be sat on the bench for the first game of today's episode. Of course, today we've got this game against Scotland, and then we've also got the game against the Czech Republic. A win here, and I will completely rotate the team, maybe use that last game as a bit of experimentation. And for people wondering, we're not always going to do live com double headers like this one for next episode, which hopefully will be us in the knockout rounds. We will, of course, be just doing the one game, but I'm going to start to get out a notepad and pen and really start to micro-manage everything and study our opposition as well. I thought for a second Phil Foden was going to score a banger inside the first minute. McCroney with the save there in the end for Scotland. And well, Walker's off the pitch. He's been seen by the physio, as has one of their players. Both teams down a man, and well, Harry Kane. Can he do that holding up thing that I mentioned before? No. Tierney gets it away. Now it's with McTominay, and then Grant Hanley to lump it clear. Tomori wins it in the air. Harry Maguire, eat your heart out. Foden and Mount linking it well. What can Phil Foden do here? He's bursting through the middle. He hits it from range, just the wrong side of the post. So after 22 minutes, it's a very, very even game, and that's not a good throw-in, is it, by Luke Shaw? Walker's going to read it, but we're having all the shots, we're having all these opportunities. We need to take one. Maybe Sancho's the man to burst us into life. Not with an effort like that, he's not. It goes wide of the mark, and now, well, it's going to be Fraser to whip the ball in for them. McTominay wins the header, and well, his Manchester United teammate in Dean Henderson collects. Been really impressed by Henderson's distribution, actually. His kicking is really good, and he's picked out a lot of men. Since we brought him into the team for Pickford, that's been one of the kind of notable kind of changes, I think, in the team, is how we're able to build up the play here. Scotland looking to hit us on the break, but Mason Mount wins it. Jordan Henderson back to Foden. Sancho kind of narrow here, finds Kane, and he slots it into the bottom corner. And well, it doesn't matter what number he's wearing. It doesn't matter where I'm playing him. What matters is he's got us the goal. We're a goal ahead, and we absolutely deserve this. Scotland playing a 4-4-2, playing a very kind of defensive style of play here. I mean, you can see just looking at their shape, so many men behind the ball, quite compact. I'm actually wondering if I should change up the wing-backs and maybe bring them slightly higher up the pitch. I also noticed there that Kyle Walker might have a groin injury. So sorry, Harry. Harry wants us to watch his highlight there, but I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to bring in Trent, and I'm going to bring in Shaw, and I'm going to look for them here. Just to kind of, I suppose, stretch the pitch wider for us. I want us to try and catch this narrow Scotland defence out a little more. Be interesting now to see how Shaw and maybe Trent get into the game in the wide areas as well. That's Luke Shaw getting into the game. He's given away the ball there. It's now Ryan Fraser cutting in from the left-hand side. Inside to McTominay, who's acting as a little bit of an anchor in the midfield, the defensive man. So far, he's had a lot to do trying to contain Foden, who's just constantly finding this pocket of space in behind him. Well, you can see there, Foden finding the space again and finding space to attack into. He runs all on his lonesome, and then he puts it wide. Foden and Sancho have done that a few times today. I feel like we've been wasteful. There's part of me that wants to put work ball into the box on. I'm going to do it. I'm sick of these long shots. McTominay. Important here that he doesn't turn over the ball, or they could get caught out massively on the break here. This is one of the few occasions where Scotland look to have committed men further up the field, as it's Armstrong, McBurney, McGinn, McTominay. It's all the mix. It's like I'm reading the McDonald's menu over here. Ball's going to be switched over to Andy Robertson, who now is bashing heads against Trent, of course. And on that occasion, Trent gets the better of the play. He gets it forward to Harry Kane. Tierney puts in a tackle, but Kane's going to get to it. No one in support. Foden, you've got to get your way into the box here. Harry Kane goes on his own, hits the woodwork, and maybe he didn't need any help. I mean, 40 minutes into this game, we've been the better team. Tomori, he's not put a foot wrong. Of course, that was going to be a change put under the microscope. If he makes an error, it's all on me all of a sudden, and the question becomes, why didn't I play Harry Maguire? I'll tell you why I didn't play him. He's been useless. Armstrong bringing it forward here. Henderson. First real stop he's had to make this game. It's taken 44 minutes, and the game hasn't even given it as a shot on target. Trent Alexander-Arnold to Mason Mount. Of course, the fullback's going to look to get forward a little bit more here. Want to try and stretch them wide if we can. Who was that who put forward that pass? Because that was shocking. I think it was Jordan Henderson. Stones to Grealish here. What can he do? Inside to Foden. Same ball again to Kane. Working it into the ball nicely. Grealish breaks through. Should finish it. Does finish it. And the man who could have chosen to represent Ireland, he's chosen to represent England. And he's tucked it into the bottom corner there. He's making it very difficult for me to justify playing Marcus Rashford out on the left-hand side. Bit of patient build-up. Kane ended up having a shot. The deflection, maybe a bit fortuitous to fall to Grealish like it did, but he made no mistake with the finish. Got in behind, slotted it into the far corner. And at the break, it's 2-0. I think the XG graph kind of gives you an idea of how this game's played out thus far. Shaw here. First highlight of the half. Long throw. Foden nods it down. Shaw. Back post, trying to get it forward. Armstrong gets it away. Mason Mount here, going to find Trent on the overlap. He gets it to Sancho and then continues on his run, looking for this space in the wide area. He goes down. Andy Robertson, I think, has given away the foul there. The ref is consulting VAR, but I've never seen these not given in Football Manager. And a chance to make it 3-0 here. Sancho winning the penalty, and I assume it's going to be Kane over it. It might be Sancho over it. It is Kane over it. Is he going to score it? Of course he is. Sends the keeper the wrong way, makes it 3-0, and this game against the Scots has been relatively straightforward so far. They've not offered a lot going forward. I did wonder if in changing the wing-back kind of roles and duties, getting them a little higher up the pitch, we might leave ourselves exposed, but that really isn't how this has happened. You can see now they've actually ended up switching to a 4-1-4-1, maybe damage limitation mode from Scotland here. I think we'll make a change here, although the decision not to drop Harry Kane seems like a smart one now. Let's give Calvert-Lewin a run out on the right-hand side. Elsewhere, Henderson hasn't had the best of games. I'm going to bring in Jude Bellingham. Not particularly astute defensively, but I think he can do a job for us here, and it's good to give the youngster a bit of game time. I think the centre mid position is the one area of the pitch we are a little bit light on. So having him into the team, I think, is a pretty smart decision to hopefully remedy that a little. 8 minutes left. I'd say this game is all said and done, but I've seen weirder things in Football Manager. We need to continue to be at our best here as Tomori is hounding Christie out wide, although Christie dances past him, hits it goalwards, and, well, Dean Henderson refused to be beaten here. We're yet to keep a clean sheet as England manager between the pre-tournament friendlies and the game against Croatia. I think that might be about to change here, though. We've played very, very well. Relatively straightforward in the end, dare I say. Couple of goals in the first half. Scotland, to be fair, did create a little more in the second half, but we just looked a little too good. We dominated the ball. We dominated the play, kept it pinned in their half. And elsewhere, you can see the Czech Republic and Croatia drew. So it's very, very close in this group right now. Although one thing is for certain here, we've made it to the first knockout round. Harry Kane on form, 2 goals and an assist for him. Tomori, delighted. I mean, as he should be. 12 caps at England he's won. England are on course to match our expectations. And as we go into the second game against the Czech Republic, there is an opportunity now, I think, to rotate the team a little bit. Maybe try a slightly different system. Ultimately, this game is quite lucky, really. We can rest the players ahead of the knockouts, which is always needed. International tournaments are relentless. That next game is in 4 days' time. And expect a B team, a chance for some of the kids to show us what they're capable of. Maybe give me a little bit of food for thought going into the knockout rounds. Okay, so for today's second game, we're taking on the Czech Republic. And whilst, I'm rotating things around a little bit, that doesn't mean that we can't do our homework ahead of our opposition. Of course, we are going to finish top of the group. That is in no doubt. But at the same time, it's worth having a little look at the opposition. I was just looking at the Czech Republic here in terms of formations they've faced and what they play. So they commonly play a 4-2-3-1. And in terms of how they perform, they do pretty well against everything except a 4-4-2, which they've struggled against, albeit in not a huge sample size. So with that in mind, this was the initial rotated team I was going to go with, but actually, I think I'm going to change things up again. I think I'm going to change up the kind of forward line a little bit. So I think at wide playmaker, I'm going to bring in Sancho here. I was going to bring in Grealish, but his fitness is a little, wobbly, shall we say. Sancho was rested halfway through the last game. Up front, we're going to go with Calvert-Lewin and Rashford as a duo. In midfield, Declan Rice gets the nod alongside Bellingham. Raheem Sterling, who I've not really utilised much yet, is going to start out on the right-hand side. Truth be told, there's not a world of difference between him and Sancho in terms of what they offer going forward. Defensively, though, Raheem is a little better, which I think in a 4-4-2 could work in our favour. If he was to put in a good performance here, maybe gives me a little bit of food for thought to utilise him a little bit more as we go into the knockout rounds. Elsewhere at the back, Tomori sticks around alongside Mings, Chilwell and Trippier. So from the previous game, just 2 players remaining, those of course being Tomori and Henderson, not really needing to rotate too much. Going to be interested to see how Calvert-Lewin and Rashford play up top together, 2 very, very pacey players. And well, hopefully this late shift in shape is going to work out in our favour. Sancho playing a little bit of an unfamiliar role out on the left-hand side. But historically, the Czechs, they've struggled against this when they play their 4-2-3-1. It's the formation they've played the majority of the time. This is either going to look like a stroke of genius or I'm just going to look like a fool. Anyway, Trippier getting the start right back, launches it into Sterling, who flicks it back post to Calvert-Lewin. And I mean, it's from the training ground, everyone. Long throws got fixed by Football Manager. If you have a player who has good long throw attributes, I think Trippier is a 13, they can still do a long throw. And well, it was Raheem Sterling flicking it on, and then it's Calvert-Lewin, who now has 3 goals in the competition. I think he's in the running for Golden Boot, despite this being only his first start. Yeah, he's been really, really good for us. And that's a tremendous opening that hopefully we can build off here. Chilwell launches it forward. Defender misses it. I thought for a second Calvert-Lewin might latch onto the end of it, but Pavlenka was there to get it away. As I mentioned last episode, this is a match I'm going to be going to see in the Euros, which I'm very excited about. If Gareth Southgate now rotates the team that England play for this match, I don't know if I'm allowed to be bitter or not. You know, I want to go watch the best England squad play, but equally, I don't really have a leg to stand on considering I've just rotated the team around for this. And while Bellingham, just the wrong side of the post, hit it from range, it was bending goalwards, but I think the keeper did have it covered. And, well, this is end-to-end stuff. There's highlight after highlight, and it's the Czechs now bringing it forward. Barak to Susek, a player in this 11 who I am familiar with. Of course, he's been playing his trade at West Ham, had a very, very good season. Bit of a hero of my fantasy football team as well. And well, Rashford threaded through, should finish it, does finish it. That is a tremendous way to tuck the ball away. And after 9 minutes, the switch to 4-4-2, it looks inspired. We are 2-0 up here. And, well, it's come from a ball from deep. Was it Chilwell who played the ball through? It was. I don't know if Chilwell in real life could pull off a pass like that. I'm not going to complain. Tremendous finish. We are in cruise control right now. So looking at things, in the other game in our group, Croatia and Scotland are currently tied. If we score another goal against Czech Republic, their goal difference goes to a -3. I have no idea what the league sorting rules are here if this was to remain as a draw. I guess for the Czech Republic, they just need to hope that game finishes as a draw and that here they don't concede too many. Of course, if they got one, it would suddenly be 2-1 before half-time. And, well, considering we scored 2 goals early on, it has fizzled out this match. Until now, maybe. It's a 3-on-2. Jude Bellingham breaking forward with the ball. Lays it off to Marcus Rashford. Options in the middle, including Calvert-Lewin. Can he pull it back to them? He can't. He's going to fall down on his knees. The referee's going to give a penalty. It looked very soft. Not too dissimilar to the one that we got from Jadon Sancho out on the right-hand side for us in the previous game. VAR is going to give it. And the man over the penalty is going to be Rashford, who hits it, sends the keeper the wrong way. It is 3-0 before half-time. And, well, the B team, the rotated 11, they're showing maybe I should give them a shout. Maybe there's a few players here who deserve more opportunities. One thing that I actually realised as I went into this game is we actually are allowed to make 5 subs, which is a rule in real life with the Euros this season. You're allowed to make 5 subs, but you're only allowed to have 3 stoppages in play, you know, during a match to make changes. So you've got to make double and triple changes. Maybe wish I'd known that before this game. Maybe could have changed my approach slightly when it came to subs and such, but well, we know it now, and we know it for the knockout stages where I think it's going to be all the more important. Could we get a 4th here, though? Raheem Sterling to Trippier. He whips in. Calvert-Lewin in off the woodwork, off his noggin. He has another 2. He's on for the hat-trick. So is Rashford. They're probably going to be squabbling over the ball now. But with 30 minutes left, I think this game is done. The ball in by Raheem Sterling. Actually, it wasn't. It was by Trippier. The ball in by Trippier nodded goalwards and just squeezed in at the post. I mean, maybe I'm giving myself a selection headache with all these players playing so well. It's going to be difficult to pick between them all. Right, Declan Rice is on a booking. Let's bring in Connor Cody. Elsewhere, Sancho's not had the best of games. Probably needs a bit of rest. We'll bring in Grealish for him. I feel like I should make another sub whilst I'm here, but I'm pretty content with how it's all going. You know what? Tomori off for Maguire. We'll make a triple change. We'll save 2 subs in our back pocket. But players like Sancho, like Tomori, very likely to start for us down the line. And so if I can rest their legs for 20 minutes here, it doesn't seem like a bad idea. Grealish, I mean, he's had a shot there and his Villa teammate in Mings has just blocked it. Maybe there's more, though. Maybe Mings is not just denied the opportunity that this highlight is designated for. Maybe there's more going on here. As Raheem Sterling out on the right-hand side. 2 men trying to stop him getting the ball, and he will get it in, though. Calvert-Lewin's effort's blocked. Laid off to Bellingham. He scores it. But the assistance flag is raised. You spoiled sport, Lino. Ruining Jude Bellingham's first ever England goal, and now they've ruined our clean sheet. I mean, 19 minutes left. It's 4-1. We should be fine, I hope. It's a tremendous header, by the way. I can't really blame Henderson in goal for that one. Is there anyone on the bench I should give a token appearance to? You know what? Greenwood on for Rashford. No hat-trick for him today. Elsewhere, Trent again at right back. Keep players fresh. Keep things rotated around. By the way, Walker, who did get a knock, you might remember, in that previous game, hence the reason I took him off. He is absolutely fine, but we can give him 90 minutes off here just to rest his little legs. And this feels pretty good. I mean, this is the B team playing really well, the rotated 11. Should mean, hopefully, going into the knockouts, we go in really, really fresh, which I think can only really be viewed as a positive here. Although if they get another, and they have got another through Derrida, I mean, they're really ruining the shine on this result. 4-1 looked brilliant. 4-2 looks kind of meh. Just ruining my win. And I hate it. Ball whipped in. Derrida, I don't know what Henderson's... I don't think Henderson's seen the ball. He's had a sit down on his bum. He's decided he's had enough. His legs were tired, bless him. A little bit concerned in the way that we are just having a meltdown at the back. I'm sure some of you are screaming, turn on time-wasting Jack. Look, I don't do that. Not in the group stage against the Czech Republic. Imagine if they score another, by the way. Oh my word, that's just gone over the bar. Maybe for a second I didn't think I was going to need to imagine. I mean, all I can say is we brought on Harry Maguire and we've conceded 2. So he won't be starting the next game again. Calvert-Lewin did pick up man of the match. He played very, very well there. And to be fair, despite the 2 late goals for the Czech Republic, let's not let that take away from what was a superb little win. Elsewhere, Scotland got a win over Croatia to make the knockout round. So that is kind of fairly big for them. In terms of who we're playing next time, I think there's still groups playing. So we'll leave it as a mystery, a surprise. Next episode, we will have the knockout rounds. I can't remember, because we won the group. No, it's not like... I didn't know if it was like the Europa League, where if you win the group, you enter later. It's absolutely not. So next episode, we have the first knockout round. Hopefully, we're going to get an easier opposition, because we won our group. We deserve that. Hopefully, it's a chance for us to find our groove ahead of some tricky games. Although, when I was having a quick look through the groups, there's some surprising teams struggling a little bit. I look at the likes of Poland with Lewandowski. Germany are currently in 3rd. I mean, North Macedonia have qualified out of Group C. That would be a story in itself if it was to happen in real life. Of course, a few of the teams who finish 3rd will also make it out the groups, although we have to wait for all the groups to finish before we know exactly what's going on there. Elsewhere, Spain could maybe be in a little bit of danger. They are on 4 points, but they are not assured of anything just yet. Either way, that's going to wrap up today's episode from us. A little bit of a double header. Good to get a couple of nice wins under our belt. I felt like going into the group stage, we should win all our games after the pre-tournament friendlies. I wasn't quite as confident on that whole achievement, but we've flown through this test, I feel like, with flying colours of sorts. Defensively, maybe some work to be done, but we're scoring lots of goals. Next time out, we will have the first knockout round. I hope you guys are excited for it. Of course, if you enjoyed today's video, do drop a like on it. Helps me out massively, helps people find the channel, lets me know that you want to see more of this. And well, until next time, it is me, Jack. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.